Burmans are one of Indian art's most important families. Sakti Burman is one of the pioneering post-independence painters of India. His French wife Maite Delteil is a leading figure in the Indo-French art world, and their daughter Maya Burman is an outstanding talent. The individual styles of all three artists is unique, but there's also a common thread of fantasy and joy which runs through the works of all three of them. Let's get ready to dive into a wondrous world of fantasy, joy and innocence. This is our talk. I'm Jujhar Singh. Sakti Da, Maite, Maya, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Hello.
Thank you.
And a very big congratulations to you. The French government has just given you one of the highest civilian awards, the Légion d'honneur.
Thank you so much for mentioning it. It seems that my work has been appreciated by the people, and they have decided to honor me with this.
Let's have a look at the medal. How beautiful it is. Look at that. You live between France and India, and both countries are very proud of you, Sakti Da.
Well, I hope so. I'm working very seriously, and I'm trying to be very true with myself.
You must be very proud of him, Maya.
Oh, yes. But he did the job for that, so this is his work which has been recognized, so this is very nice.
Wonderful. Sakti Da, let's look at your fabulous work now. Your paintings have gods, goddesses, mythological creatures, people, animals, birds. It's a fantasy world out there.
We live with God and goddesses in the sense that when I was a child, I've seen the festivities and God and goddesses, Durga Puja in our house. So they are all in me, I mean with me. Naturally, I paint them, and also I paint the reality of the everyday.
But if one looks at your canvases, it's almost like a child's dreams painted on a canvas.
Yes, I mean, child, or maybe I become child. You see, these are all memories that past and present, because I live right now.
Sakti Da, let's try and understand your works more closely. Let's have a look at this work called Stories of Krishna. You have Lord Krishna at the top of the painting, but he's not dancing on the serpent Kalia, but on some four-footed animal. He also appears to be reaching out at the headgear what looks like an Egyptian goddess. And the goddess in turn is warmly touching a child who is being held by his mother. We go below the painting, you find a boy riding a sheep-like creature. You have a man playing an accordion. And then you have two lovers at the bottom of the painting. My question is, what is it that binds all these figures together in one canvas?
These are all my memories been given to that painting. So many things, you know, in a second of time, we travel all the world. So these are all the thinkings of the present and the past, and what I have seen. When I had gone to Egypt, what I have seen in Egypt, what I have seen in Greece, and naturally my Indian god and goddesses, which Krishna.
So what you're saying is that all the figures over here are part of your memory.
Yes.
But there's some fantasy also over here.
Naturally.
You have, for example, Krishna dancing not on Kalia, but on some other animal.
Yeah.
This is fantasy.
I don't follow
Yeah.
exactly how it is written in the Shastra, I mean about Krishna or the serpent or like this. Whatever it comes to me, I just paint. And at the same time, I think of Egypt, you see, because Egypt I had gone. I have seen so many monuments, so many places, and they are also in my memory. So I put them in my paintings. Maybe the lovers we see, and we were lovers ourselves, you see, and we have seen so many lovers. So I have put up the lovers as if they're dreaming of that travel, or all the animals and all the god and goddesses in a different situation, you see.
So your painting is basically a reflection of your real world and your fantasy world.
Yes. Yes.
All put together.
Yes, all put together.
Saktida, your paintings may be a reflection of your world, real and fantastical, but there are people who put wider interpretations as well. Let's, for example, look at this work of yours, Krishna Lila. You have Krishna dancing over there, but the figures around him are nothing to do with Krishna Lila, the stories of Krishna. They're regular people doing regular activities. So the question that can be asked is this Krishna Lila as in the God's Leela? God's play, all the figures, all the world is just his play.
Who is God? Ourselves. I mean, God made us of his image. You see, who made the God? You made the God. I mean, we have.
He resides in all of us.
Yes, he resides in all of us. The way I paint Krishna, I can just take out his name and can put a title, Our Play. You see, we are playing.
So viewers of your painting are free to make their own interpretations, but you are clear that this is a reflection of your world, your real world, your fantastical world.
Yes, they are in me. All the things that you see,
Yeah.
they are here. They are here, and at the time of what I have seen in the past, present, and they have been expressed through my color and form. That's all.
But of course, one thing that comes from all your works is it's a fantastical world, it's a good world, it's a positive world.
Yes. When I was in the school, I read a story of Pandora's box.
Yes.
And Pandora, the God has made her and gave her one box saying that don't open it. But her curiosity is so much, like all the human beings, we are all curious. And she couldn't help but opening it. And so many things has fled away. And then she quickly closed it. She closed the hope. Hope is the way that everything will be, for me, everything will be all right. Maybe now I am passing through a bad period of time, but let us hope that everything will be good. And that hope, sometimes I say that I painted that hope.
You grew up, you lost your mother when you were very young, you saw the Bengal famine, you saw the partition of Bengal, your family lost their wealth at the time. How do you keep yourself and your work so positive?
This is very hard. I ask myself, how I can be like this. I will grow up without mother. But in spite of that, I'm very positive. Why? Maybe I received love from my brothers, from my father, for my relatives, my aunties. So maybe they have given me so much of love because I lost my mother. Maybe that has given this the spirit of hope. Spirit of hope, you see.
So in fact, adversities have shown you how to look at the bright side of life.
Yes.
Maite, how do you feel when you look at Saktida's works?
I think, as he said, it is a joyful painting.
Joy of life.
Yes.
Joie de vivre.
Joie de vivre. But because also of the colors, of many things, the way of he is doing all that, it gives a feeling of happiness.
A couple of points of technique, Saktida. A lot of your paintings have this old fresco look, like the colors were once vivid and now faded.
Yes, that we always try to do some techniques which is very much personal, you see. Techniques or even the painting subject, spirit of the work.
It's helped establish your signature style.
Yeah, and this particularly, once a critic said his way of painting is, I think he's the only one in the world. And I think I'm not telling you this because, but the way I paint, technically, it is mine. Now, how it has come? I have seen frescoes in Italy. You see, I have visited Italy. So I tried to get that feeling of frescoes in my work. So I tried. Finally, one day I tried with water and oil, you see. And then I had the impression it is coming all right. Then naturally I tried again and again with using some other art materials, and then I got this frescoes feeling.
Sort of faded look.
Faded, as if it is here, and also it takes you to a dreamland.
Yes. Maite, Sakti is Bengali, you are French. How did you meet?
We met in art school.
In Paris?
In Paris, yes, very, very long ago, 60 years ago. We have liked each other painting immediately, so it was a painting we...
I've heard that you found Sakti work very special when you
Yes,
was
very
young.
special. And ourselves, we were not so mature in art. It was better for that. So everybody liked his work and found him interesting.
But let's look at your work, Maite. It's absolutely beautiful, enchanting.
You may find that. Painter.
Your work is about nature. It's about
Yes,
the
nature.
bounty of
Yes,
nature.
but I am coming
It's
from-
about the generosity of nature. You're celebrating nature.
Yes, but I am coming from a part of France who is very beautiful, and I am coming from countryside. I am not a city woman. Even I have not felt myself like a Parisian people. And
You grew up in nature.
yes, I grown up in nature, so I think you can find that.
I believe you come from a wealthy family, but when you were young, you had very few toys. So nature was your immediate friend.
Yes, of course. You know, when you are in, and at that time, 83 years ago, when you have to play, you are playing with leaves, we are playing with stone, we are playing with all things coming from nature, with flower, and so...
So your paintings are partly
Yes.
autobiographical.
Yes, I think so.
But your works, Maite, they may be partly autobiographical, but there's also surrealism over there, there's fantasy over there.
Yes, of course. I think it's natural to have some dream and to you feel you don't see the nature as really it is. You may dream about what kind of birds are in that tree, and you know.
How do you influence each other's art?
Well, previously
There's some fantasy in both.
Now it is less.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of, you know, when we came to know each other and we spent a few years together, and children's also came, then at that time we had some kind of influence to each other, you know, unconsciously. It's not necessarily she's copying me or I was copying her. Unconsciously there was some kind of connections, you see.
But Maite, behind the surreal nature, is there a hidden meaning? Do you have a bigger significance behind your works as well?
I think it's true. All my life, when I was painting still life or landscape, always one dead tree or a branch of dead tree was there, even in still life. I can now see some pot. There is no flower inside, but one branch of dead trees. So, critics say that in my painting there is a dichotomy between life and dead.
You're
That's
showing
now-
the opposites in the world.
Yes, but I
Because the
think,
whole world is full of opposites.
yes, and in fact there is life, but there is always dead.
Yeah.
With following that.
That is a kind of symbol, that the way she has put up
A
her...
kind of vanity also, like in the
Yes.
vanity, the way what they call vanity, the painting, where it's you show the beauty of life, and there is always something which remind you about death, a skeleton or something like this, just to remind you that life is passing and it will end. So in her work, this is also something that is there, because landscape is very bright, the color are very bright, but remember, someone is there behind you waiting.
But let's look at the detailing in your work because it's meticulous.
Yes,
It's exquisite.
yes, I think I like to show all the detail of something, and also it may come from my bad eyes. You know, I am a very big myopic lady, so myopic, they see from near not from distance.
So you actually have an eye for detail.
Yes, I think it can be an explanation.
You can say that, but you are a very
Meticulous, yes,
person. You see, I cannot leave my clothes here and there, then you will start shouting.
No, but even when you are painting, sometimes you will put 3 finger, 5 finger, 6 finger.
Yeah.
It will be lost in the composition. Nobody will care. But her, if she is making the finger, or everything has to be perfect.
Yes,
She will not tolerate
This
that.
is sounding like a complaint.
No, but this is true. But in
This is true,
everyday,
because she
like
likes to be, the house should be clean, you know.
But
Prim and proper. And look at the brightness of your colors. It's reminiscent of Indian miniature works.
Yes, I am sure I know I have been influenced by Indian miniature. That I can assure you.
Maite, your works are supremely beautiful. And like Sakti Da, when you look at your works, one feels happy.
I hope so. And it is nice to hear it. I am satisfied with that.
Maya, you grew up with art all around yourself.
yes.
And this is why you rebelled and became an architect.
Oh, yeah, even I wanted to do worse than that, but at last I went into architecture, but luckily I've not gone further than that.
Your parents' genes got the better of you then.
It was unexpected, even for me, it was unexpected, but through the practice of architecture studies, I understand that painting and drawing is important for me.
Let's have a look at your works, Maya. Your focus is on human figures, mostly women and children, and they're doing the simple things of life. You find children clutching their mothers, or they're playing with each other, they're eating, there's music, dance. How much are you showing the world of feminine joy?
The time I have been spending working, I realized that the woman figure are becoming more and more. I always wanted to show the importance of women, let's say in the society, not in the society, but at least in my world that I am building through my painting, and how maybe to pay tribute to them. Shakti was talking about hope. For him, he wanted to show the hope in his painting. Me, I wanted to show a kind of lost paradise or lost world, or go back to this kind of, try to live through my painting in this kind of words. Maybe this is utopic, I don't know, but or phantasmagoric, I don't know, but this kind of society, and I show it through my painting. You can look at my work in 2 ways. You can look at it as a pure composition. For example, in the painting you show a nude lady, then you have to
Let's
balance.
talk about that work.
Oh,
It's
yes.
called Languid Beauty.
Yes.
So you have a nude woman reclining on a bed. Opposite her, there's another woman. She's surrounded by children, and they're affectionately grasping at her. So on the one hand, you're showing sensuality. On the other hand, you're showing maternity.
There is those 2 faces of the woman that you can say that I wanted to show maybe, but when I work, when I look at my painting, it's more, I'm telling you, in terms of composition and balance between the masses in the painting, the color and all that.
So for you, this is just a composition.
Yes.
But viewers, again, are free to make their own interpretations.
That's not, I give the, how to say, when I make the painting, I don't making expecting that someone will see something. I have to say that I am making for myself.
The other element in your work is that there are flowers and fauna all around. In fact, even your dresses are floral.
Yes, For the dresses, let's say that I like also, as Maite was telling, the Indian miniature, but even before the Indian miniature, I have seen the middle-age miniature in Europe, and Art Nouveau also, which is full of a very prolific flower and things like this, flower pattern. So it's maybe because I wish we could preserve this kind of nature, which is going to be no more. So I am again not making any social, nothing in my work, in my position is social, but I can, because we are social human beings, so we are touched by what is happening around us. So I think again this nature concern is very...
People are free to make that interpretation.
Yes, but they are free to make interpretation.
My works are a mix of fantasy and reality, but what touches me about your works is the pure innocence in them.
Yes, I think maybe the lost innocence once again, that I want to try to preserve. If we cannot preserve it around us, at least we can preserve it. This is the liberty we have as a painter. We can preserve it in our own painting, and we spend most of the time with our work. So it's a space of freedom for us.
All right, let's take a little break now. When we come back, we'll have some fun questions. Yeah?
Okay.
Thank you.
One of Indian art's most important families, the Burmans, are with us. We'll be right back on Art Talk. Welcome back. You're watching Art Talk with me, Jujhar Singh. One of Indian art's most important families, the Burmans, are with us. If somebody has an interest in art, how should they develop their interest further?
You know, they have to see paintings, they have to go to exhibition to learn the subject. And then, little by little, you will like art, and then we can start collecting paintings.
What do you tell your son Ganapati? Because he's a young man, he has an interest in art.
Yes, he's 20, he wants to join College of Art, and I keep on telling him, you have to take an apple and draw the apple. And I'm just telling what my mom was telling, and she's still telling me at my age that I should keep on drawing. Draw apples, banana, whatever you have, but you have to keep on practicing drawing.
In apple, for instance, whatever you drew, I mean, that is a symbol, apple. Even in apple, you can draw just with a line. You can draw with shadows and lighten shades. You see, apple is here, for instance, and there are also some relation with the table and the apple.
Yeah.
So you can do plenty of work with that. You see, Cezanne has done apple, so many apples in his life.
Yeah.
And so this
you
is...
can develop all your skills drawing an apple.
Yes. I mean, that is a symbol.
Yeah,
you
or
know,
a banana or anything. Or
whatever,
any object.
Any object. You
Yeah.
see that whenever you see something, you draw.
There are some people who say that sometimes we don't get inspired, we're waiting for inspiration.
No, that is
No, that is
not important.
that is not important. Inspiration, the more you work,
The more
inspiration it comes.
Start working, the inspiration will follow.
Yes.
Thank you very much, the Burman family, for joining us on Art Talk.
Thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you.